Welcome everyone, this is Coaching in Session. My name is Michael Reardon and I'll be your mindset coach today. And today we're going to be talking about why haters hate. Because if we look at the people who hate, they're not really hating on people beneath them. They're hating on people ahead of them. That's what is typically the most common thing. But why should someone hate someone? Because they're doing something or they have a different belief? Yeah, we can learn how to be cordial. We talked about that. And I think we talked about that in the episode 100 area, where we were talking about like just the art of cordiality. It's like, yeah, you can have a different belief, but then at the same time, it's like, I'm going to still walk my own path, but I still respect your path. Yet we live in a world today where people are attacked. I mean, like literally attacked because they have a different viewpoint or they have a certain skin color. Where are we going? And that is what we need to understand. So we're going to be talking about that in today's episode. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And this is going to be just kind of a breakdown of what we do here at Relevant Concepts, because we are very sectioned off in the sense of what we do and how we present the data. Coaching in Session is a politically correct podcast. I cannot say that enough. You know, when I have a guest on, it's typically no arguing, it's not combative. It's just, let's go through the mindset of your conversation. The conversation is always up to the guest. Yes, I ask the questions. Yes, I guide the conversation. But the only thing I do is actually the most logical next question. For example, if you said that you grew up in the hood, I might say, well, what do you do to get out? Right? That's just a logical question that comes after that. For example, an answer. How are you doing today? You say, I'm doing well. I'm doing amazing. I'm doing fine. That's logical. So the questions that I ask are just the most logical next step for mindset. Oh, like that makes sense. Because if it doesn't make sense, it's kind of like, wait, what? It's similar to the subconscious mind and you saying you're going to win the lotto or you're going to, get the perfect body, like in 3 months or something like that. And you need actually like a year of fitness training and routine work in order for you to get that body. The subconscious mind knows. It's going to say, hey, you know what? Like, you're a dreamer. I love it. But at the same time, we need to be realistic. So the realism is going to be prevalent. It's like, okay, well, let's make it so that it's attainable for the person. But what happens is this. If someone has something or someone has a different belief that is unattainable for their subconscious mind, they automatically go into the hater mindset. It's like, I'm going to hate this guy. I'm going to wish bad on this guy. I'm going to get voodoo dolls and I'm going to stick pins in it and stuff like that because they're upset that someone else has a different viewpoint. And it's insane how people think or come to that logic. There's no one in this world where I say, you know what? I wish bad on them because they have a different opinion. Yet, people are being attacked every single day. Matt Walsh, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, Kanye West, Nick Fuentes, right? All these people are being attacked because of what they said or what they believe. Are they not allowed to have beliefs? Like, we really have to ask that question, right? The reason why we came over and we separated from England or, why America was colonized was because of a major hiccup that they were having. That was the right to have religious freedom. So religious freedom is a belief, right? I can be Christian, I could be Pentecostal, I could be Baptist, I can be a Jehovah's Witness, I could be an atheist. Now, which is right? Like, they have similarities, yes. But which one is right? Should I ridicule an atheist? Should I ridicule someone who believes in a certain religion, whether it be like Islam or Christianity? I just can't say, you know what? Since you have this belief, I'm going to attack you because you have this belief, because it's opposite of mine. That right there is just crazy, right? We're thinking in a way that is like not beneficial for the mindset because we are saying one thing, but then we're thinking another, okay? And the problem with that, and then we're going to get into the meat of the show, is that if you do that, guess what your brain is going to do? It's not going to take action. It's literally going to stay in a state of upsetness, right? It's not a word, but it's literally in a state of unease. That means you're just uneasy and you're not feeling good, right? You don't want to take action. You don't want to move. It's similar to having a cold. If you have a cold, typically you don't want to do nothing. You want to stay in bed. You want to sleep. You want to drink soup. You want to watch TV. You want to be miserable. Well, you don't want to be miserable. You want to get better. But you just want to be at ease and be in that misery rather than have to go to work, rather than have to deal with people. You want to recover, right? The brain needs that. The body needs that. However, what is happening in our world today is that we are not giving our body that chance to recover. We're not giving our body the chance to acclimate. So we're just giving ourselves a belief. We're giving ourselves a status that this is my belief, this is my stand, and I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to alter it. So we don't listen to the different viewpoints anymore. We listen to our viewpoints. We listen to the main narrative. And that narrative can lead us into a poor mindset. So I wanted to get into what we do here, how we separate ourselves, and then what's really going on. All right, so if you haven't known, we have multiple shows now at Reverend Concepts. We have our Politically Correct podcast, which is Coaching in Session. And then we have our Hard Truth podcast, which is going to be Mindset OD. Now, I talked about this before, but I want to talk about it again because it's going to be the perfect segue into what I want to say, is that what is happening is Mindset OD, again, is the hard truth, right? I wanted to separate that because when people come to Reverend Concepts, I want them to take either path. Mindset is a path, all right? You can be successful. You can not be successful. You could be lazy. You could be outgoing. You could be whatever you want, right? You get to make that choice. However, choices have consequences. We understand that now, right? Choices have consequences, whether they be good or bad. What's happening is that people are making the choice to be inactive, right? They would rather complain. They would rather ridicule. They would rather be miserable. So Mindset OD is making that very prevalent to people. And it's a hard pill to swallow. It really is. It's a hard pill to swallow because Mindset OD is saying, hey, you can be more, but you're being lazy. You're being a slob. Get up. Do this. Step into your power. It's telling you to do that. But the issue is, what is happening in society is not so much of let's be powerful anymore. It's let's be obedient. What is that obedience to a person or to you? Again, that is going to be up to you, right? You get to make that choice. But if you look at where you're going and maybe the end result of where you're going to end up might not be really true, okay? For example, you can look in the mirror and you can, see yourself, you're gaining a couple pounds, things like that. But maybe your ideal body is not what you're seeing in the mirror. Should you take action and say, you know what, I'm going to do the work in order to get my ideal body. I'm going to make sure my routines are good. I'm going to make sure I'm eating healthy. I'm going to make sure I'm doing workouts. But if you just look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm okay the way I am. Are you deferring your dream? Are you settling for less? And this is a conversation. This is a conversation that needs to be had because people are struggling. People are struggling with the concept of, if I want something in my life, I have to be the person to go for it, the person to reach for it, attain it, live it, be happy that I got it. Yet, people are upset. People are going to hate. So instead of me taking action, getting my dream body, I'm going to hate the people who have dream bodies. I'm going to hate people who have different beliefs and opinions than myself. I'm going to be a hater. What can I do in order to make people hate me? What can I do in order to show people that I'm upset with what they're doing? I can boycott them. I can cancel them. I can send a mean message. I can send nasty things to their loved ones. Whatever it be, right? All of those things are going to not only show your true character, but it's going to give you an understanding of your mindset, your character. Right? Your mindset is your character, but your character should be prevalent in all your actions. So if you are a person who is inactive and you don't take actions, you can change who you are, who you want to be, but most people won't. Most people are going to be miserable where they are, and guess what? Misery loves company. So we're going to be talking about that, but we're going to be looking at Mindset OD because Mindset OD, we have about, 12 episodes out, maybe 17 episodes, something like that. I forget. But the show is brand new. Coaching in Session, just about 300 episodes now. So, we have 3 episodes a week of Coaching in Session. And then we have one episode a week of a Mindset OD. Why don't I do 3 episodes of Mindset OD? It's because of the secret formula that I already talked about on the podcast. We need 3 positives for every 1 negative. If you do not have 3 positives for 1 negative, the brain will shut down. So that means Coaching in Session, Politically Correct, is a positive, uplifting podcast. Today is an uplifting episode too, because I want you to be aware of this mindset. I want you to be aware of your inaction. Not to say that you are in the wrong, but just to be aware of it. Okay? Because sometimes if you're made aware of it in a way that's like, yeah, you're right, I'm not showing up, then you can start to take the action. That is where we need to be. So Mindset OD is that, I guess, negative type of mindset because it's telling you the hard truth. And it's really hard to take that sometimes because people can be offended. Like, man, I'm not showing up and you call me out on it, right? It doesn't feel good. It's like a failure. If someone calls you out on a failure, it's like, man, like that hurts me, but there's also another side to it. I can appreciate that you care enough to want to talk to me about that you bring it to my attention versus just talk about it behind my back. So I want to talk about, well, what's really happening when haters hate. So the idea of when haters hate is when someone is looking at someone and they're just very unhappy with what they're doing, what they're saying, and they want to hurt the person. And it might not be physical, right? It could be emotional, it could be mental. So they do something, right? They unfollow them. I'm going to unfollow you. It's extreme emotions, right? We live in our emotions, or people live in their emotions, and their emotions are controlled. Not a good place to be, right? Either way, we are in that emotional state. So we take action, right? We say something. I'm going to write a comment about this, and I'm going to say, you know what? I don't believe what you say. I think you're stupid. Okay. Now, we could have said, I don't believe what you said, but I can see where you're coming from. That's, politically correct. Which one is right? Which one is wrong? Because yes, I'm entitled to say someone is stupid, but then we look at the whole concept of what is free speech? Well, I live in America, and if you live in America, you understand First Amendment is going to be freedom of speech. That means you can say what you want, all right, to a certain degree. Of course, like hate speech and things like that will get you banned on certain platforms. If you're talking crazy and things like that, FBI or CIA is going to probably be watching you. Regardless of the craziness, right? Just kind of saying like how I'm talking to you right now. I'm just talking to you as a person. I want you to be in a better place. However, if I'm saying something that's helping you be in a better place and you take offense to it, you might not like me anymore. You might not listen to the podcast anymore. You might not want to follow me on my social medias or like my pictures or my statuses, and that's fine. We get to choose who we follow. We get to choose what type of life we live. We get to choose what type of people we become. But for the people who are just becoming whatever is happening, whatever society is bringing them, those people are going to be the most miserable people. Because they are just having failure after failure after failure after failure, and they're blaming the world for this mishap. This is where we need to take responsibility. When we take that responsibility, we give ourselves our power back. The power that we should be having. Because we should be powerful. We should be omnipotent. We should have good things in our life, but yet most people settle for what they get. And that's the scraps that are thrown at them. Right? Their circumstance is what it is. So they get upset that someone else has a different belief. So they look at, how can I attack this person? Haters are going to hate. And the people who hate are most likely going to be the people who are doing less than you, or the people who have different beliefs than you. So you have to figure out if you are that successful person, because now we're, getting into the meat of it, right? The bulk of this conversation is, if you are that successful person and you have an army of people just hating you, berating you, what do? Do you cry? Do you say, I'm going to relinquish all of my wealth and all things that I have just to appease the people? It cannot be that way. Sadly, it cannot be done that way, because not only are you going to disdain yourself, but the people are not going to even treat you any more fairly than they are treating you right now. Their character is not going to change because you change your belief. Yes, they might play like, well, here's an umbrella. We're going to shelter you from the rain right now. But it's still not brother to brother, sister to sister. That bond that's created, that camaraderie is not there. It's almost like a thread that's about to break. And the moment you say something or do something, they're going to threaten to break that. And if you have a strong mindset, you're going to say, break it. But if you have a weak mindset, you're going to say, please, what do I need to do in order to make you happy? What do I need to do in order to appease you? This type of mindset is not good because you're being controlled by someone. You're being controlled by people. A good sign of success is that most people are looking at you like, oh, I can't believe this person did that. I can't believe this person bought another bag. Like, really? 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 Haters are going to hate. And it's important that you understand that. And it's important that the people that you have in your circle understand that. For example, if someone says something bad about me, like really, truly bad about me, let's say, Michael, beat up a bunch of people and was laughing at them and spitting on them. If you told that to my family, if you told that to my circle of close friends or associates or, like my business people, they will all look at this article and say, can you believe this nonsense? This is not true. They already know. But for the people who don't know me, oh, what, he did that? He's such a terrible person. Let me unfollow him, right? Or let me follow him so I can make sure, he's not doing anything bad. So it's like the people closest to you know the truth, but yet the outside people are just berating. And sometimes if you tell yourself a lie long enough, it becomes the truth. And sometimes if you're berating a person long enough, they break. It's similar to water torture. I talked about this before. Water torture is not a harmful type of torture. It's relatively simple. They have a device, and every so often, a drop of water just falls on your head. And eventually, you break. You just lose it. They didn't hit you. They didn't yell at you. Just a drop of water hit your forehead or hit your head somewhere. That right there is enough to psychologically break you. And that drop of water is the same thing as every tweet, as every comment, as every email or every letter that someone says negatively about a person or about you. You are going to break at some point. How do you get over that? If you don't have the fix, you're going to break. There is a fix. You need to make sure the people that you're with, no matter what, no matter how many drops, you work together. Because if you have a group of people working together saying, hey, we believe this, we're going to do this, and you do it, and you stick together, thick and thin, you're going to get through. You're going to get on the other side and be well. And this is something I told my wife early on. I said, listen, right now we're starting off the business and, the business is the business, right? But at some point, the business is going to be so big, it's going to be so large, you're going to be attacked. And you have to be strong. I told her that. I said, you have to be strong. Because if you're not strong, you're going to break. And then she's like, okay, whatever, right? She probably just kind of took it with a grain of salt. But then it started happening, right? Her friends saying, hey, I don't like what he's talking about. Hey, he seems dangerous. Hey, you should get out of there while you can when it's still safe. Those friends whispering in her ear to run away because they're not happy with what I say or they're not happy with my success. And they think that her leaving or her, breaking up the family is going to make me stop. The issue with that is they don't know who I am. They think I'm going to stop because of something like that. The door has always been open. Anyone can leave my life. That's just life. Because the people who decide to walk out of my life, then I truly understand that they weren't there for me. It's cool, right? People sometimes can come and go and things like that. Think of it as a house party. People come, they celebrate, have a good time, they leave. But then there's going to be people who say, you know what? I enjoy this. I want to be here for the lifelong commitment. Those people, right? Few and far between. I think I found a good one. But at the same time, I still have the mindset. Even if you have someone who betrays you, even if you have someone who is going to do the opposite of what they say, they're not to be blamed because mindset is so fickle and is always evolving and there's so many different paths that a person can go on. Haters are going to hate. And so at some point, there's going to be a time when they're going to have that mindset or they're going to have that battle in their head and they have to ask themselves, what am I doing? Is this for me? And they might come to the conclusion that it's not for me. They might come to the conclusion that I need to get out. I need to escape. I need to not follow this mindset. But the mindset that I'm presenting is of power, is of you following through with your actions and then finally getting what you want. But what you want is not at the detriment of what other people have. So yes, you can get good things in your life, but if you're going just to be hating on people, you're going to find yourself on the other end unhappy, alone and unhappy. Do you want to go that path? That's fine. Again, your life to live. You can say whatever you want. You can send me all the comments, all the emails. You can send my family all the comments, all the emails. And it's up to them to believe it. They get to make that choice. They get the final say. Do I believe this? Because if we watch the news and, something's going on somewhere in the world, and I know when something's going on here in Texas, my parents always call me and they say, are you okay? On the news is saying it's so bad and blah, 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 blah. I go, are you going to believe everything the news says? Because I'm good. Everything is fine. If something was not fine, I would probably tell you. But to be honest, if something wasn't fine, I would handle it. That is the mindset that we have to have. We handle whatever problems that we get. So I got a bunch of problems with people. They don't believe me. They don't believe in what I say. They hate me. They want to see me fail. But they are fuel for me. They're fuel to the fire. They're going to burn me up. They're going to make me take more action. So for the haters, for the people who see me as a threat, I ask, what are you doing in your life to enhance your current circumstance? Because if you're not doing anything in your life to enhance your current circumstance and you're wasting your energy on me and worrying about other people and how they're living their life, are you wasting your life? Are you truly living when you're just going around being miserable? I don't know. Maybe you are. Maybe you are living, right? And maybe your part of life is just to make other people's lives miserable. It could be something that, is a good thing for you, but for the majority of people, it's not going to be that. So that means we have to step away from our opinions and beliefs and what other people are saying and then being upset that someone else said that. Because if you do that, you're going to find yourself in a hard place mentally. Your subconscious mind is going to have a hard time breaking through the obstacles that you have personally in your life because you're going to be so bogged down by what other people are doing rather than what you're doing. So at some point, the haters are going to have to stop hating and take ownership. Now, if you are a hater, if you are a person who just continually hates, ask yourself, where has this hating got me? Did it bring you anything better? Most likely it hasn't. Maybe for a few people, right, it has, but that's going to be the severe minority. That means we need to learn how to take action, not let our energy be focused on things like hating, and then say, all right, this is the path I should be going on. Regardless of where everyone else is going, this is where I need to be. That path is for you, and that path should be yours to walk, not yours to hate. Just because someone else is walking on a different path, don't hate them. Just because someone else is living a different life, don't hate them. Just because someone's in a different circumstance, don't hate them. Change your mindset. Change your life. It starts with you. So yeah, haters are going to hate, but they always hate on people who are doing better than where they are. So if someone's hating on you, take it as a compliment. You're doing good. So keep on doing what you're doing and keep on making strides because eventually the whole world is going to hate you. And then what you should do is just smile because most likely you're going to be in one of the best places possible in your life. My name is Michael Reardon. I'm a mindset coach. If you have any questions, you can email me coachinginsession@gmail.com. And I'll see everyone on the next episode of Coaching in Session. Until then, everyone take care.